So in part 2 we're going to work our way down the sides. Forgot to mention this Rad Guard was on here when I bought it, which is something I would probably buy. It's quite bent already, so it just shows you that it probably has saved the rad a few times already. Bash plate, that was on when I bought it. Yeah, it's got a few marks on it, so it must be doing something good. This is another little toolkit, which is an old piece of inner tube. The water drains at the bottom nicely, and all there is in there is some adjustable spanners and a couple of tyre levers. That's the rear wheel size, that's the front wheel size. As you can see, I've welded it onto the end of a tyre lever so it doubles it up, and they're quite heavy, so they're quite low, which helps. Spare front sprocket there, and I keep it all together with bits of inner tube which are handy, and just a piece of elastic there, keep it tied on to the bottom hose. These aftermarket gear levers, I mean, it doesn't even fit, look, it's as tight as I dare tighten it, doesn't even fit. But the trouble is with these, they'll snap rather than bend. Give me the old Honda one any day. The Honda one will bend right away back, but then you can bend it back again. So much better to have that. Front sprocket, I've geared it right down, 13 tooth. I've removed the sprocket cover. I don't like having it on there. I like to see what's going on. I like to see if it's rammed full of mud. Obviously if it's rammed full of mud in there, that's going to wear the chain possibly a little bit quicker. And you can keep an eye on your teeth to see if they're starting to hook. So under here we've got a spare clutch lever, cable tied to a hose, and the same here, we've got a spare gear lever. Keep an eye on your split link, give it a little check now and again, make sure it's not too loose. It is best to not have one, have the chain peened over, but I take my chain off and I clean it and re-grease it. I've got a 45 tooth sprocket on the back, and I've turned the rubber the other way around, so it's a lot easier to get in and out the back wheel. In the side panel we've got the original Honda toolkit, which hasn't seen the light of day very many times, and a nice soft flexible pipe for siphoning petrol, etc. In this one we've got fuses, some more instant metal, puncher, old-fashioned puncher repair kit, which I don't need, but it's handy to help out the others. What else we got? Good tyre pressure gauge, which needs to go up to about over 100 because I'm using the tubeless system. This is what's in the tool bag on the back mud guard. Nothing too heavy, you don't want to be too heavy on the back. A plug kit, which is what I use because I'm running a tubeless system. So wrapped up in here I've got I think I've got some more levers. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, good old standard Honda lever, and one of these arty-farty fancy ones, which I don't suppose it'll ever get used, but it's there just in case. What else we've got? More cable ties. Best thing ever. Gorilla tape. Long nose pliers for your links and various other bits and bobs. Talking of links, I've got a bag of links here, must be about 4 or 5 links in there, because they're all different sizes. Now this is a piece of plastic water pipe. It's really strong. If you break a lever, like a little stump like that, it's really good, really strong. It'll operate a lever, and if you put a cable tie around the back of the lever underneath where the cable goes, it'll get you out of a muddle. Really strong, works a treat. And this little givey bag has been on here quite a while now. I've had it on here about 3 years, must be. So if I remember, I'll put the link below. I've got my rubber chicken. Everyone should have a rubber chicken. And my Austin Vince exhaust system, that was on here when I bought it. A GoPro mount here. Ram mounts, really, ram mounts. And I bought a cheap towel tidy kit, which is obviously Chinese. Half the LEDs started to go out, so I took it apart, resealed it and dried it out, and it's working again now, but they're rubbish really. The bolts are rubbish, so I replaced them with cable ties. I can get that in and out really quickly now. A while ago I put a K&N air filter in. I did open up an extra hole, you can probably see the shape of that there, and I left it like that for ages. Anyway, one ride I went on, we were going to do some deep river crossings, so I thought, well, I'll just cover that up as a precaution, and it went a hell of a lot better once I covered it up. So it's been covered up ever since, no extra holes. Because I'm a bit of a short arse, I've lowered this bike quite a lot. I've taken the seat right out here, as you can see, and it steps up to normal about here, so when I'm on the tarmac I just sit on the back a little bit. Also, I've drilled another hole in the bottom of the shock on the back. I've got a whole video showing you how to do that. I'll put a link on if I can remember. It's really helped because I'm ever so short, 28 inside leg. And I've wound the spring up. Rather than buy an expensive one, I've wound the spring up as tight as I can get it, and it works really well. Something you want to try before you start spending hundreds of pounds on an expensive shock. And you can drop it all at the bottom. So this piece of hose here, spare hose. Now it's a kind of like a holster for a GoPro. You can pull that out and you can poke it in the ground for videoing. I did used to poke it down here, but then one day I forced the fan onto the rad and broke the fan blade. Got a lot in here at the moment. We've got like 20 meters of rope, a few shackles, and if you fold it over with cable ties, you know, it works a treat. If you're going to tow someone, tow them from foot peg to foot peg. Try not to do it on the chain side of the tow bike. But there's a lot you can do with 20 meters of rope. It doesn't weigh anything. You know, you could winch your bike up a bank, something like that. High pressure and low pressure pump from Halfords. High volume and high pressure. It's not very expensive, nice and cheap, but it does pump up the tubeless system. A few more cable ties, another pair of gloves. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's a funnel or a trumpet. Yeah, I've never used that. I didn't even know I've got it in here still. Yeah, you never know, one day. Nothing much in the pockets for the moment. Oh, the essential hand gel for COVID, but not only that, it's good for getting tyres on. It helps slip the tyres on if you're spooning the tyre back on, and it also enhances a fire. If you squirt a bit of that on a bit of paper or a stick, it will burst into flames. It's worth having a 21-inch front tube in your backpack or on your bike, because the front tube will also fit in the back, and I like to give them away on a regular basis. If anyone wants it, only joking. So that's pretty much it for part 2. I'm going to do a part 3 with GoPro mounts, Garmin mounts, phone mounts, more utter bollocks, I hear you cry.